Hello ladies, welcome to another episode of Brainwashed. I'm your host, Danyaahla, and I welcome you. Here on Brainwashed, as some of you know from previous episodes, we talk about topics that are important for us as women, building us up personally in the way that we feel about ourselves, our self-esteem, our views of ourselves, with sisterhood, the way we relate to other women around us, and as wives and mothers, which are the core values of us as women. So to add to today's conversation, I've brought some guests on to go into some great things. So before we get started, let me introduce my guests. So let's start from over here on around.
Hello, Shalom. I am Kawalia Aidan, and I am a mother of three. I'm also a wife. I've been married for, I want to say I'm actually hitting 17 years. I've been with my husband since I was 18 years old. So it's been a long journey, and I'm just happy to be here sitting with my sisters.
Shalom, everybody. I'm Danyaahla of I Am Israel, No Division, and I'm happy to be here today with my fellow sisters. I'm a mother, a wife. This is my daughter, Azure, and been married for about 17 years as well. All praises to the Most High. And I'm happy to be here today.
Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm married to Mom. I have two beautiful children. I am with True Nation organization, and I'm cute.
I love it.
Drop the mic.
Shalom, y'all. My name is Nini, and that's it. I've been in the truth for 2 years now.
All praises. The baby.
All praise.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala. My name is Antoinette, Sister Antoinette. I am a mother. I have 3 children. Not married, seeking when the Most High sends, of course. I am a part of I Am Israel, No Division. Been in truth for about 4 years, and I'm blessed to be able to gather with such strong women here on this platform.
Shalom, my name is Azure Yasharala of I Am Israel, No Division. I'm going on 17 years old, and I've been in the truth for about 5 years.
I'm praise.
Girl, that's so cool.
Man.
Shalom, Israel. My name is Max. I represent the house of Yakal Gabar. I've been married for just over a year.
Did you have to check with sis how long you've been married? You was like, sis.
I've been married for about 2 years, but we've been married for about a year. I've been in the truth for maybe 5 years now. And yeah, I'm the end of the line. So.
She said I'm the end of the line, so yeah.
So for my ladies that are viewing that are not necessarily in the truth, we'll hear some of these terms and we'll clarify as we go through. But when we speak of in the truth, all of these ladies and myself here, we all identify ourselves as Hebrew Israelites, meaning that we believe in God, Christ, and the Bible, and following the laws that we are given to live our lives to His way of being. So when you hear us speak about being in the truth, that's just what we mean, knowing that we are Israelites and following the laws of the Most High. So take in this conversation. Even if if you're not an Israelite, I want you to take that in, because as Blacks, Hispanic, Latinos, and Native American women, we are God's chosen people, and this conversation is for us as women. So not just those who know they're Israelites. This is for us as women to build us all up. All right? All right. So I want to just dive right into our conversation. we get a little turn, get curves. Let me look at you. What you say? So diving right in because, you know, the focus of this conversation is to dig in on what our issues are as women and not just to bring them out and wag our fingers at everybody, to also talk about the things that we struggle with ourselves, because there are so many other women that deal with these issues and things as well. So the first thing is that strong woman ideology, the strong black woman, the strong Hispanic woman. What are you ladies' thoughts on that being a positive or a hindrance for us as women? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna let someone else go in because I can go far for
Take it.
For me, you know, coming up, born in 1984, you know, we came from an era where a lot of our mothers were single mothers. So we seen mothers be strong in the midst of storms all around them. But we also seen generations prior to that where you seen real strength in women, your grandmother, you know, your aunties. And what I describe that as strength is because they sat silently. They knew their role. They knew they was to take care of their children. They needed to take care of the home. They needed to be supportive to their husband.
Pride in that.
Exactly. And I never once, I can remember in all the days, I don't care, I've never heard my grandparents ever fight. My grandma stood by my grandpa until the day he died. Never once he went without a meal. Never once did he have to worry about what he was going to do for himself because she already had that taken care of. But today, you see women who would rather, let's say, cater to their own work. I don't feel that I need to do that. I don't feel that this should be a 50-50 type of situation. But yet still, do you understand the balance of 50-50? When this man is going out every day and he's bringing in, and he's the one that the Most High said that he's over you. How can this be a 50-50 situation when the Most High didn't give that?
There's a certain order. Yeah. What's that order? Can somebody?
Divine order.
The divine order.
According to 1 Corinthians, God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, man is the head of woman. So that's the divine order. Yes, basically it.
Amen.
And you know, and like you were saying, the women took pride in that role, which is something that I don't see a lot of us women doing today. So, you know, just as a overview of us as women in the society today in 2019, what do you guys think is some of our biggest issues that we deal with as women, as wives, as mothers, as dealing with sisters individually? What are some of those issues? Just throw them all out there. Let's throw them out
Can I
there.
start?
Yes.
I think that the strong black woman transitioning from being a worldly strong black woman to being in the truth strong woman. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to make the transition from one to the other. You know what I'm saying? Because we're, like she was saying, society kind of teaches us that we're supposed to be up for ourselves. You know, we're supposed to make sure that our stuff is taken care of and everybody else is secondary. But in the truth, that's not the way.
It's the opposite.
Right.
Which is always the way.
Right. But, you know, and this is kind of the way that I look at it, which kind of helps me to be okay with it. Because, to be honest, it's just not easy. You know what I mean? Like before you know your husband, and I'm newly married, so I can say it like this. Before you know your husband, it's like, oh, he's full. And then you get to know him, and it's like, he's a man. But you still, after you understand all his flaws and everything, you still have to serve him the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it's challenging to consistently keep your mind in that place. But I understand that because I'm taking care of him, I'm taking care of me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I'm taking care of the things that he needs to, that's me too.
Because that plays back into that proper order that she was talking about.
Right.
Right. Submitting to your
Right.
husband.
That's kind of something that I kind of struggle with because I'm about to be 30. You know what I mean? I came into my relationship 28. I'm already was taking care of myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to taking care.
Yes.
But then I come into, and I love my husband. You know what I mean? But it's making sure that I serve him the same even when I be like.
Yeah, but that's kind of what love is, to give more.
Yeah.
So that's something that us as women struggle with giving love to others because we're so focused on ourselves. Yes.
Right.
What are some other issues that us as women, deal with overall, in all these different areas? Anybody?
I don't know if this was an issue, but I think the feminist movement has taken
Yes.
a toll on black women as a whole.
Absolutely.
Y'all
How do you speak of it?
Expand
I definitely.
on that. I wasn't trying to talk about it, I just didn't hear it thrown out. So.
It's a feminist movement.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on how the feminist movement affected us as Black women?
Well, I'm sure that because we were so here with each other, that a lot of women weren't home cooking, cleaning. You know what I mean? A lot of women weren't concerning themselves with the schedules of their husbands. You know what I mean? Everything that had to do with the household took a back seat, because as feminists, you believe that women are equal and women are supposed to be this and this and that. And you know, not to say that women are not equal. You know what I mean? But there's an order. It just is what it is. It doesn't mean that you're better than me. It just means that we're different.
Yeah. My strength is in a different place than
Exactly. You know. And in the feminist movement, it was kind of okay. Let me
burn my bra. Don't want to be there. Like if I take it's just ridiculous.
It doesn't seem to have advanced.
It doesn't. No, and it doesn't have. It has no purpose. You know, they're out there standing on corners or standing in the street with no bras. You know, it became
free situation like that, like disgusting animalistic
way.
Women
go through it. Women,
that's animalistic. That's animal. And then you got to go to where you get that from, because our people don't think like that. Our people taught them other nations how to come up off the mountains and wash themselves and how to have hygiene. So our people don't think like that. But that's when we go outside of our own ways, forget who we are, don't longer try to find out who we are. We just go ahead and be assimilized to the worries of this world. And that's when, that movement of feminism, which is more lesbianism, let's be real.
So did feminism ruin the Black household?
Yes, absolutely.
I wouldn't say it ruined the Black household, but it's playing a part into it, because you also got other things that are killing off the Black family being able to be uplifted. You have
incarceration.
You have welfare. You have child support. You have all these hinderings that allows a woman to have power because of a financial status that really is not a status or financial gain.
That's not leaning.
A lot of women are financially stable and they feel that they make a whole lot, way more money than a man. So that's what a power struggle comes in.
Control.
Yeah,
Control. Will surpass the man, and that's just how it is in this world. But if you look at it too, oh my God, I almost lost my train of thought.
No, but since you own it, I'm like, okay, go finish that. I was like, yes.
Oh Lord. But okay, so when it comes down to feminism and just how the world looks at it today, it's like the men don't exist. So
I don't need a man.
I don't need a man.
I need mine.
I got Jesus.
Because even like
why you need a man when you got Jesus?
Childbirth and pregnancy. You go to a hospital and you're being treated as a woman that's having a baby, and you have a husband that's there. They totally neglect the man and say, I'm talking just to you, as if he didn't play a part. And it happened to me personally, and I've seen it happen to people that I work with. Disregarding the man, and it's about the woman only, and it's all about the woman's body. The woman is everything. You know what I'm saying? So all with that, all of that is playing a part of separating our families and neglecting the fact that our men are ahead, and without our men, even with a child like pregnancy, without our man, the seed that the man gives us,
that seed was living in him before it even got into us.
So it's like, how is he being excluded out of the process? You know what I'm saying?
He should be at the forefront of it.
And they don't get that. But that's something I wanted to bring up, because I guess I really do see that a lot.
Yes, I see that as well, even and it's not thought about. So simple as making a plate. You save your kids first, or you serve your man?
Well, you serve the head of the household.
But how many times have you seen throughout where a person is going to serve every child? Served every child. While that man had to sit there and wait while he watched them ungratefully eat first. Not knowing what he sacrificed. Not knowing that without any complaint, he got up and went in there and he made it to where they could eat that night. Yet still she's talking mess as she's making his plate. That's where the roles and understanding that, the husband, the man is needed. He's important. The child should not feel like he's more important than the father.
All because of the woman's financial status coming in. And that was something that you were just saying.
When women make way more money than a man, it's a power struggle, and they feel they the man.
Yeah.
So how
They feel they the man. I make the money. I do this. I do
I
that.
run this.
This is my house.
This is my house. But the reason why women make that money like that, and because we're able to make that money like that, because that's how, the white man loves us. We're the apple of his eye. So they want to make sure, okay, build up the women, bring down the man, and that tears apart the house.
And I think it goes a little bit deeper because you think about it, when we came over on ships, our ancestors came over on ships, they broke that man. They see, like, they had kings in over the groups of, the villages. So if that man was a higher person, you're not going to go to that white man, even if in captivity. You're going to go to that king, that man that was always been there. So he break that man in front of him. He break him down in front of him. Let you know he can't save himself. How he going to save you?
Beat him. All of that.
So now you got to go to your white daddy. Daddy, can I get some money? Daddy, can I get some food?
Oh, that's famous.
Yes.
And if you have a man that's in the home,
You got to get rid of him.
You either got to get rid of him, you got to put him on child
What's
support.
that movie?
Act like he ain't there.
What was that movie? Carolina or Corletta, where she was dating
Pauline.
Pauline,
Yeah,
yes, they was moving the TV from house to house. The welfare coming.
Yeah.
And they gotta go.
He gotta go.
Yeah, he gotta go. Hide that suit. Hide them shoes.
No man.
Get that TV.
Man in your life.
No, and no signs that you actually living a little bit good either. Because
They want to see us.
That is so.
or who gave you that? That man gave you that?
Keep us oppressed.
Oh, well, then he could do something more for you then. And even though if we thought about it then, like, shoot, take that man and throw away all that. Because our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties, our history has shown that it's been done. When we had nothing but fields to pick, and they gave us the scraps to eat, we made it happen.
And I feel like that's what we need to do financially, because us as women, because we're in such a good financial place and our men can't build, we supposed to flip the game on.
Yeah.
Take that money that they giving to us freely and that education they giving to us freely and pour that into our men and pour that into our households. Flip the game.
Now, that sounds good and all that.
Okay.
But because our men have been broken down so much, a lot of them don't know what to do with a lot of these resources.
We're not talking about just any men though. We talking about righteous
Right?
men.
I mean, and even the righteous men, a lot of them
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
true.
So while we have that idea, that's a great idea to have, but we have to still take into consideration
What
that
they're
we're
working with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why we gotta love on our men and be the women followers of the Most High. Because if a man, all of us are married for the most part, but if a man comes to a woman that's a follower of the Most High and his laws, the first thing he's gonna see is her beliefs and her spiritual
That's
things.
right.
And that woman, being the woman that she is, knowing what she needs to know, needs to guide that man to other men to build him
That's
up so
right.
that he can be in that right mindset for her to flip the game. Like
Yeah,
we
and I
talk.
think too, we all been broken. Women and men.
Yes.
Coming from the world and just going through the things and seeing the things that we go through. So at the end of the day, and that's where I can attest to say women are strong women, but the Most High built us that way. We are pillars, and when
Amen.
we hold up.
Oh, man.
And so,
That's right.
and no matter what
Right
we
there.
going through, no matter what we're going through, just as a woman on the inside, we're not expecting our husbands to say, okay, I'm gonna lift you up, because
I'ma hold your hand.
I'm gonna hold your hand. I know that 9 times out of 10 it may not happen because they're on a whole different pathway. So what we have to do is, as sisters, we have to help one another and build each other
That's
up.
right.
Sometimes we have to bring a flower to our sisters and say, "Look, Lord, I got you. We holding you up.
Yes,
We are we're the bridge
Yes,
of holding our
yes.
man up." And then that's when it comes down to
Hold each other up.
building our man up, because we are the ones that do a lot of the work.
A
You
lot
know
of
what I'm saying? We do a lot of work.
They do the work outside, but we do the work
outside.
inside.
To allow them to do that work out there and to not have to worry about nothing else.
And what happens on the inside?
That's why you gotta be that
You're
peace.
teaching.
Yeah.
You're giving peace when
You're
you come
making
home.
food, girl.
You're making that
Send
food.
a man out there without
You
no
praying
without no
good
food in
words
his
over
stomach.
him
See,
instead of-
see,
He'll be angry.
see how productive I'm saying.
Right. Don't let that man
It's
be
gonna be a lot different.
You know what I mean?
A lot different.
Like the Snickers commercial, you're not yourself
When you're hungry. Okay. Right.
That go both ways with the women too.
Yeah.
When women don't eat, they get
Right.
cranky too.
Hey, when we be at home, like I be the last to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm always the last to eat. I don't even eat sometimes
Right.
when everybody at the table's eating, because I know somebody gonna want something. So I kind of like be on standby, and I'm cool with that because
That's a whole different type of love, though. That just kind of gave me
That's
a
a
little
different type of love.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
Everybody else.
I'm not gonna lie. appreciating that, but it makes me as a sister want to be like, girl, you need something.
Oh.
Because I see.
Yes, you
And
see
you
my
know,
sacrifice.
Yeah, I see
My
that.
husband is like, he like, won't you sit down and eat? Like, sometimes he even be like, you know,
But
make
you know your
first,
role.
but
Right.
I know. I'm like, no, I'm good because my mindset right now is on servant, and
Right,
I'm not gonna be
right.
able to eat if I'm not like if
Right.
everybody else.
Yeah, I can't eat comfortably and
Yeah.
I don't know y'all.
And that's funny that you speak on that because the Bible
Yes, bring it
speaks
on.
on that. It tells you that you're supposed to, when you hosting other people, that you're supposed to serve everybody first before you worry about yourself. That's a good hostess.
Yeah.
So what you speaking on is what's written in your inward parts already. So, you know, it don't surprise me that you do that because if anything, we all supposed to have that ability to say, I'm going to serve them before I serve myself. Matter of fact, I'm not going to worry about serving myself. I'm going to worry about keep on serving the people of the Most High.
And the Most High will look out for you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's that scripture in there.
You right.
We sort of the same.
We
Like,
the same.
we
I
are-
like my food by
we-
myself. I be chilling.
I make my husband's plate, I make my son's plate, and then my plate is made last. By the time I get to that table,
They gone.
they
And now you got to clean the kitchen.
Hey, but can we think about the peace that come along
The
with
peace,
that?
yeah.
'Cause I done cooked, I done did everything.
Right.
Y'all go, let me just sit down. Let me just eat and drink my meal.
There's no peace. When you sit at that table,
They coming back.
They coming back. They say, oh, can I have some more of that?
Mommy, can I have some of yours?
Yeah.
That look good. Did you just
Matter of fact, are you going to eat that?
Right. And you know what I have to mention, I am representing for Tazayawan, Ariella, the house.
Okay, okay.
I represent that tradition in the building. I was like, let me represent for my
I knew you was going to come back because I was like, I see your face go.
like, I ain't mentioned my husband.
And I was the first one. You know, when you
Yeah.
everything is practice.
She was like, I need a do-over.
I'm like, dang.
And for my ladies that are watching this conversation, when we speak about I'm Israel, no division, and when we speak about True Nation, these are different congregations. True Nation is located in California. What city?
And Los Angeles.
LA. Los Angeles,
South Central LA. Florence and what? Normandy and Denker.
I was just playing. I wasn't
So
even
these are congregations that these women are part of. Just like you have your congregation in your church where you go get your learning, you build up and things like that. That's the congregation that these sisters are from. And myself and Sister Danyaahla, Sister Jure, we are a part of Sister Nene. Yes, I'm sorry. Too many names. We are a part of I'm Israel, no division.
Me.
We are from I'm Israel, no division, and we're located out of Cleveland, Ohio. We have members all around. So this is churches. These not even churches, families. I feel like that's more of what we are. We're families, the ones that we go to and lean on for support, for guidance, and things like that. So when you hear us mention these different names, you know that's all we're talking about. We talk about our family. That's it. No, we just talked about all these different, great qualities that us as women should have. Being the women in our households and feminism and things like that. How it affects us negatively. So I want to ask, with us being in the age of social media, we have Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all these different things. Do y'all think that women take it too far with the negative imagery they put out there with sexual content and, the arguing and bickering and things like that? What are your views on us as women and how we're reflected, publicly when it comes to social media? What are your thoughts on that?
Social media is pretty much trash. Okay? I think too, even when you are trying to be positive, like a lot of sisters do, try to post positive things, it's like you get looked at as being a porn bag, or you don't get the likes and you don't get the notoriety as if you
But the booty pics get the likes.
The booty pics get the likes.
And it be fake.
And it be fake. All of that.
See, y'all in LA, so y'all know.
Listen, I'm from Pittsburgh, and it be fake. Girl, it be fake.
Y'all part.
So it's like, I don't know, the whole thing with social media, to me it's a reflection of things are just going to get worse and worse. There's a scripture that talks about things are just going to get worse and worse, and the evil that was in the days of Noah. It's coming back.
Yes.
It's bad.
It's
You know what I mean? But
we here now. We
but
there.
in the midst of that, we do have a responsibility because we cool. Like, you know what I mean? We all got different looks. We all have different, stories and situations, things that we can share. There's a lot of things that are popular nowadays. Cooking, you know what I mean? Fitness, hair, makeup. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things. And I think that we, being the group that we are,
We in the know.
we in the know. You know what I mean? And really, we know a lot more than, because We might know how to do makeup modestly so that you still look natural. We know how to make vegan dishes. We know how to, sew and so I think that social media is trash, but social media is the reason why a lot of our men have the platforms that
We're the salt of the earth, we're the flavor. So when it comes down to, we don't have to bring too much. We don't gotta give too much. You just give it a little bit. Matter of fact, and then taste it. See if it's seasoned good, because it might just be good for you. You don't gotta
treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah. It's, so.
Yes, I like that.
You gotta, and you also think about it, the way, what we say and how we speak to one another, how we treat one another. We gotta be more compassionate with our words and our approach. We can sit up here and spit fire, but we can also spit what puts fire out from the same place.
That's right.
Out of the mouth. What scripture is that?
You can either spit on a flame or you can blow it.
Or quench it.
They both
Yes.
come out the same.
Yes.
Look,
I'll be posting the scriptures.
Yeah, that's right.
This
That's
as
right.
we talk. In the
See, I ain't got the scriptures, but I got the
right here.
But we gotta get the numbers.
Yeah, I have all of that.
You know, to hear like from the younger sisters
Yes.
on social media, because I know social media is in their area and it's been more something that they do more than, even though we are on there, but as you get older, you kind of like, I don't got time for that.
So
like a lot of the
younger
younger ones.
And the
So
pressure that comes
meaning
from that.
with you coming in newer, you're just 2 years in.
Okay.
What was going on social media? You use Facebook and things like that. Like, what was your perception of Israelite women via social media? How did they interact with you? What were the things that you saw that may have been negatives that could have been a turnoff if your spirit wasn't in the right place?
There's pros and cons to this. Like with social media, I feel like sometimes you just can't win for losing. I see, there's two sides to it. Like the cons is like, okay, I see women half naked, like y'all said, booty out, and that's what men like. And then there's, queens like us, and we don't get a lot of recognition, as we should. Like nobody sees us, but sees that and likes that.
I want to draw in on that too, where you might have had I call it a platform where we've all known each other for a very long time. But for instance, this brother likes this sister, even though she's nowhere enlightened or has the enlightenment and you can see that she's erring, and you're trying to correct her, and here you come, Captain, to save her.
Like, girl, do you think?
And now he's downing you.
Right.
And you're studying yourself approved, and you're doing this walk, and you're wholeheartedly into this. And this man just threw you down because you talked about the girl he got a crush on. And you ain't even talking about her, you just trying to edify her, you're trying to uplift her. You like, sis, some of these brothers don't mean, good. They're not looking for you to become a virtuous woman, they're looking to take your virtue.
And that's why we have to know what our role is so that we can have discernment when dealing with anybody, men, women, anybody.
Because it's important too to be merciful toward them spirits too.
Yeah.
So that they can see you do the right thing and be like, damn, I'm out of order. You ever like be so nice to somebody that they know that they're
Yes.
What they say, kill them with kindness.
Just keep being nice,
Yes.
so that they look like, oh, it's me. Yeah, it's you. Because
That subtle check.
right.
You're gonna feel bad. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You're gonna feel bad, feel ignorant, and you'll come out on top. Being the bigger person.
But you know what else? When you do bad or do harm to other people, especially if they're good people, the Most High will deal with you accordingly too. So when you sit here and you do those things, and she's taking the higher road or he's taking the higher road by not doing that, for the love of his brother and sister, he gonna hold his peace, and you're steadily going,
And you see that thing though.
and he will handle that.
Yes, he will.
And he will
And you
handle
know
that.
what? I agree with being merciful, and I agree with showing love and compassion. But it's certain situations where you've been around people that continue to do the same things over and over
So
again.
it has to be.
Now you have.
You gotta come hard.
You gotta have that divorce spirit. Sometimes you have to put You do. You do.
That's when you
Because at the end of the
separate,
day-
because they have became the enemy of the Most High. So if the Most High consider them an enemy, they my enemy too. Why will I continue to be around someone who has no no?
I think what you're speaking about more so is balance, like
Yes.
knowing I'm gonna come with you with love, but if you continue to be off, now I'm cut you with the sword. Now I'm gonna
And
get
that's how the Most High-
yes. But some
Most
people don't
High
have that
does.
balance. Some people are too soft and
Those are lukewarm
just
fish, right?
let people live, you
Yeah.
know how they want to live, you know.
And
And
I
then there's
can't-
people that's you wicked Negroes and
Out the back. So it definitely has to be some balance, you know. We all strive to be righteous and make sure that we don't point too. So
Yes.
it's never no pointing the finger, but
Right.
if you just see it and you know like it's just not right and it just continues on.
You gotta
and on.
separate, yeah.
As sisters, we should be able to have those conversations and be able to talk to each other. Like sometimes, we be going in on conversations.
I just saw you go in on somebody the other day. I meant to
Nah,
tell you.
but you know what? It's not that I'm trying to go in on nobody. It's just at the end of the day, it's like sometimes you just have to use certain words. You have to turn up the heat just a little bit to let them know, like, come on now.
Because that's to the saving of their soul.
Yes,
That's to the
you're
saving
looking
of their
out,
soul.
and me, it's all love. I don't have no issues with anybody personally, so it's all love. But if I've been saying this for so long already, and I've been cool, and
It's like a
nice,
parent. It's like a parent.
Yeah.
It's like a parent. Like I warned you. I
Yeah.
warned you.
Right.
Now you get to them.
right? And so now it's like, oh, now it has to come to that,
But it can still be done in love. It doesn't have to go to disrespect. It doesn't
Yes.
have to go to, name calling and things like that.
That's-
I can be firm without cussing you out and
Thank
blocking the
you.
door and on social media. Like, okay, well, she ain't listen. I'm about to block her. No, I might unfriend, I might unfollow, but I'm not going to block you because I'm going to leave that door open.
And you know
Yeah, I'm
what?
gonna unfollow you,
Absolutely.
but you can follow
that
me
type of
still.
language.
I got a couple people like that.
Calling each other names, and we're not bees.
Oh,
we're not
yeah.
the Most High
Yeah.
already has established who we are.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Why?
you know that.
Yeah.
You know who you are. You know who I am. Why should I be anything else? And
That
so,
part.
I'm sorry,
No,
Sister
girl.
Max. Go ahead.
You done already got it.
She took care of it.
Yeah.
So we just talked about a lot of things that we see other women are struggling with. Let's bring it home a little bit. What are some things that we are personally struggling with ourselves and working on, and we see other women dealing with? And what are some, what's some advice that we can give to other sisters? So what are we personally working on, and we want to give somebody else a word about it?
I work on staying in order.
What does staying in order mean to you?
Okay, so we understand the divine order. Because I came out of the world and I'm in a position of taking care of myself, I work on letting my husband lead. I see that parking spot and I'm gonna try to tell you about that parking spot, but if you don't go, I ain't gonna be mad. Even though I wanted you to get that parking spot. I gotta keep it together. You know what I'm saying? So it's a consistent thing to just stay humble, stay lowly, know, okay, even if you got the other parking spot, the Most High, maybe that parking spot somebody was gonna hit you. The Most High got a plan.
Yes.
It can be the smallest thing, but you gotta keep it in mind. And I just
It's all for a
continually
reason. That's right.
meditating, keeping that thing on keeping it that the Most High knows best.
Yes.
I don't know best. My husband sometimes don't even know best, but the Most High is gonna work all things together. So just chill. If I'm in my position, you know what I mean? Not
You stay a little bit, and that's how you stay blameless. Because if I'm following you, and if something go wrong, then it had nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get straight at it.
That's real, sis, because you know what? That goes back to the beginning, where instead of Adam leading, Eve led, and she fed him of this tree.
Right.
And now we dealing with what we dealing with now, all because she fed him. And it was more or less, he looked at Adam like, I gave you control.
That's
He
right.
said, this woman showed me. Now when you go a little bit further into it, it's like, okay, it wasn't literally a fruit that they ate, but it was talking about partaking of all the different things that were going on in the
taking
garden.
knowledge and perception from somebody
And
other
the
than
knowledge, if you go into it further, okay, we still dealing with this to this day because our people feel like we can go eat of any tree. We can go have any seed from any tree. And we don't realize that we are placing more of a curse on that seed and on our nation.
Here's the thing though. I don't mean to stop you, but the thing that I'm grateful about is that the elect will not be deceived.
There.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're going to get to where we need to get to. I just want to make sure that I'm in that
And following
in that 1/3. It's the 1/3 that's what I just want to make sure I'm in that.
And when you're in order, the way you are,
Yeah.
see, it's something about that order, because order is placement. And when you're in your place and you know when and when not to,
It's
just
like an army.
like the spirit of Esther. It's
Yes,
like she was in
yes,
order,
yes.
but her name was made great because
Yes.
she was in order, she knew order, but she knew when it was time.
To use it.
Yeah, and by her being in order, she was able to get
What she
Way
needed.
more.
results that
Yeah.
she needed.
Yes.
Right.
So,
For a nation.
I like
Yes.
that. I like that. That's what
Yeah.
you are working on. That's what all of us.
All of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the
But
universal
I'm glad
thing.
she brought it out.
Yeah, that's kind of like what me and Sister Antoinette was talking about earlier, being order, because the narrow path and the wide path, you know, because you have to be like a soldier. You have to be like this, walking in line, following the person in front of you, and the person that's in front of us is our husband.
Right.
Who's following Christ? Who's
Right.
following the Most High? So
Right.
we in order, we in line, we following that narrow
Right.
path. It's a little bit, it's tight, but we're gonna be all right.
Can you imagine trying to do that path backwards?
Oh, I'll do it back. No.
You
I'll
doing
walk
it
that
out of
path
order.
backwards as long as I'm following my husband.
As long as he's still in the front.
I'm gonna follow you.
Right.
So, what is something else that we have that we're working on in this circle?
I would say something that I'm working on is just being a better helpmate to my husband.
You bond. What are you talking about? I'll follow you.
Always just what can I do better? What else can I do to help you in your works so that you're not thinking about things that you don't have to think about. Just what can I do to help?
Being a better
Right.
wife, being a better servant.
Whatever resources that we be trying to do some things. So what can I do to make it easier, make it better for us to accomplish what we're trying to do?
So wait, because we got to give some advice. So what are some things that you're doing to better yourself in your role of being a wife and being a servant? What are some things some advice you can give to women, mindset and things like that?
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh, just, not being all in your husband's ear, nagging, doing all that, just allowing him to have a clear mind of what it is that he needs to do for the work for the Most High. Ash is leading congregation. He's
Like
doing, traveling to, help teach different congregations, music, it's a lot.
So giving
household, it's a lot to
Being
juggle.
a pillar
And
of
it's
rest.
all for the Most High.
So exactly, pillar of rest. That's what I'm trying to be better at. So, yeah.
Sister Bethany.
Yes. So
Sister Q, I'm sorry.
I know.
Cute.
I have a laundry list. Okay. I have the whites, the colors, the
lights, the pinks, the reds, the delicates.
Right, but I give all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, for being patient with me, and for my husband being patient with me. I honestly, there's a few things. Definitely staying in pocket, in order, and being organized and being consistent. Because consistency is something that I, wavered on. So for me, just as a mother and as a wife, there's things that, what I'm saying, that, that I'm like, okay, I got this. And I'm doing so well, and then I fall off. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I want, that I know that I'm working on. And I'm praying at the Most High. And another thing, wisdom. Wisdom is one of the things that, my husband tells me all the time how powerful wisdom is. Being able to use wisdom in times where it's really needed, and also using the wisdom that I need to have for my husband to be that pillar, to be that person behind him, to speak those words that he needs to hear so that he can be motivated to go out there and do what he does. So I ask for wisdom, and that's something that I'm like, okay, Most High, every day, teach me.
I've actually been reading about wisdom, and wisdom is tied to discernment. So knowing, like following the scriptures, like being smart about every move that you make, and knowing how it affects the people and the things around you. So that's wisdom. Having discernment, knowing that should I go left, should I go right?
Right.
am I going to the laundromat first or am I going to the grocery store? Like,
Right, what's gonna make sense?
Yeah, like, and how is that going to affect, the household if I use this, taking a job, yes, and everything, being careful about every decision that we make. So that's wisdom, and that's beautiful. But when you ask for wisdom, you ask for issues because you got to go through things.
Yeah,
to be able to impart.
Right, it's a test. Every day is a test. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like there's things that I would have popped off about that I have drawn back from just utilizing and practicing that wisdom of knowing when to say something and when not to say something, and I need to get a little bit spiritual. You know what I mean?
Or I'm the issue in this. Let me
look back and see like what I'm doing wrong. And I've been really trying to practice that, being silent.
That's humble.
Being quiet and just like, okay, I'm gonna let the Most High work that thing on out. That's all I have.
Anybody else got anything they working on that they want to share?
Can I say one other thing? I think that I sometimes struggle with studying. I be like, I heard somebody say the 4 chapters a day rule, and before we got to 4 chapters a day, and I'll get into it, and all this, and I just got through Luke, and this, and I feel all good, and then the next week I'll read like 2 precepts.
Yeah.
She's so consistent.
Right. But and you said that when you ask for wisdom, you ask for, what is the scripture that talks about he'll give you wisdom and he upgradeth not? Because upgradeth is like he ain't gonna add a key word. Because
upgradeth not. It's mentioned a lot. So
upgradeth not. So the gist of it was that when you are not studying, you won't get the wisdom without the issue. You know,
you got it? It's James 1:5.
James 1:5.
Bring it out.
Hold on, man. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh. I give it.
So for my ladies watching, that are, not in the know of what it means to cover your head, it is an understanding in scripture that when a woman reads scripture or prophecy, that she should have her head covered at that time, as respect for her husband, as respect for the Most High. So when you see the sisters, covering their head when they bring out scriptures, that's scripture right there.
Okay, so James 1:5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Right. So the point that I was trying to make was, I find it very important to study because I don't want a hard lesson. When you're not studying, that's when the Most High be like, all right, so you asked for this wisdom, you won't get it for that trouble. But if you're studying, then you're going to get that through the scripture. There's been so many times. God is so good. He's so kind, girl. There have been so many times where I've wanted to understand. I've wanted to know. And the Most High has directed me to what I needed to get what I needed. But it comes from opening up this book. You know what I mean? And because I don't want the hard lesson, I want to make time to open up the book because we all have to know. There are things that we have to know during this while. So you can either open up the book and learn it, or you can
don't just be a reader, a doer of the word.
Apply it.
Right. Yeah. You can either open up the book and get it, or you can get it in the trials. You can get it in the tribulation. You can get it in the trouble.
So maybe I need to listen.
But if you ain't reading that book, then you don't even know that these trials and tribulations are pertaining to
the wisdom that you're asking for.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, so you're going to keep getting chastised because, that's the love of your Most High. You're going to chasten who he loves.
Yes. And if you ain't being chastened, then you probably got something.
Then you need to be worried.
Pick up the book. Gain your wisdom through that.
Take a look. It's in the book.
What he say, can these dry bones live? When you reading that book, this is the marrow that gives our bones that marrow to be able to sustain. Without the marrow inside of our bones right now inside of our body, without that marrow, our bones are not able to sustain our flesh to hold up so we can go through this life. So the word is to our bones as the marrow is to our bones. The words allows us to have life and live. And without it, we already know that there's a death in it. And it's not just a death of the flesh, but a hope.
Hope, yes.
Comfort.
Yeah. Comfort. I mean, the word is everything.
It's
It's loving.
the lasting and
Reading the
enduring.
word and doing the word is loving ourselves.
Yeah.
That's how you love on yourself and you learn to love on others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's how you show you love the Most High. How you say you love the Most High but won't ever read what He said to you personally.
If you
Right.
love me, keep my commandments. What, John 14 and 15?
How you say you love me?
15.
How you say you love me and you don't do nothing that I say? What do you say?
If you love,
Said love
or
your
you a
brother.
liar. Or
Yeah.
you a liar.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
I say he knows
And you
me.
know nothing of me. Yes, that part.
Love.
Come on now.
So as we talk
Well,
about
that church.
following the scriptures being the way we love ourselves, so as we talk about how we keep, following the scriptures is a way of loving ourselves, just on a personal level for each one of us, what are some self-care habits that you guys have or want to incorporate into your life other than just reading the scripture? Because that's like the ultimate. But what are some self-care things that you do for yourself to keep yourself mentally and emotionally balanced in life? Or you want to, start doing?
Well, I know for me,
We got Max's answer. Yes.
That's it, sis. We need a minute to lose some. Like
That
I need a
release.
minute. I need a minute. I need a little drink. I need a candle maybe. I need for things to
A
just
little sage burning, maybe.
a clean house. You know how once you clean the house to the point where you light the candle?
Ooh, that's when you know
to
it's
the point where you light the candle.
When you like
Now you know it's because you don't want that burning while you cleaning the house. You know it's clean when you lit it.
Yes.
Once you lit the candle and you get you a little drink and you can turn on a light and you put your little maybe like Jill Scott or something little in the background and just sit and just be. Scripture talks about how you need to ponder, you need to be in your bed
Meditate.
and just think about your day. We need in a minute.
Yeah. Even if it's 30 minutes.
Just the exercise.
Yeah, every woman needs that
minute
time.
Yeah,
Every minute counts.
Every minute counts.
What's some other self-care things that we do to keep ourselves?
I do self-care stuff that I don't even know that I do. But just that singing and music.
Right.
Sometimes I play a song and I go ham on the song, just me by myself, you know what I'm saying? Those are just some things. I don't really sit there and really think about things that I get to do for myself, but I know that's something that's like a therapeutic for me. I love smell good, so that's like candles.
But a lot of women don't take the time to figure out, okay, what relaxes me, what makes me happy, to know how to unwind. Honey.
They don't know their sensory. They don't know because like you said, you like music. Music helps you go about your peace and relaxation. The sense. So we're dealing with sensories. We're dealing with visual, auditorial, smells, taste. Those things that will highlight or enlighten or even awaken something in someone because it's dealing with memory. So when you're dealing with the music and you're singing, now your heart is set on the Most High. Now you're set in His works. You're set in trying to be more of a better servant to Him. Now you're listening to the music and you're singing with all your might because you really mean this. You're really feeling this in your heart. It's coming from your toes all up to you.
So all of these things, knowing what type of music that brings us calm and peace, knowing different activities we can do, those things are majorly important to a woman being able to be the servant that she is for her family, for her husband, for herself. Like those things are important. What about our special gifts? Because as we know, we got our ladies here from Selah. So music is one of your gifts. 2/3 of Selah. So music.
Talked about, ridiculed, rejected. My friends say I'm crazy. I don't care all because I switched up. Is it enough? Tell me what's up? Cause I'm down with you. Please don't switch up on me cause I switched up with you. And I switched up my number so you know that it's true. I can't speak enough from everyone. So what can I do? I said please don't switch up on me cause I switched up with you.
One of your gifts. Ladies, how important do you think it is for a woman to know what her gifts and talents are in this world and being able to use them? How important is that?
I think it's important when you're in the truth, especially because all of those things can be utilized in the building of our nation.
Yep.
Everything, like we just said, music is therapeutic for a lot of us. For us to be able to produce music that y'all could clean to or that y'all could relax to, that's important. You said something about the website, that's important to draw people in and to get the audience. When you know Really, I mean, I think it comes down to what you like and what you're good at. There's a lot of stuff that I like to do, but I ain't necessarily good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to sing, but I ain't good at it.
But I want to do it. I'll join the group. Pull my leg, I will join. But doesn't mean you're going to want me to sing everything.
Right. But when you like it and you're good at it, I think that it's crucial because there's a reason. There's a reason why you have that, and it's always to bring it to when you're in the truth, it's to bring it to the table so that you can help further. A brick is a brick. You know what I mean? A brick is a brick. It don't matter if it's singing, it don't matter if it's accounting, it don't matter if it's
gonna
build
build.
pebble. Just build.
It's gonna build up.
It all
Because
matters.
that's building, and I want to piggyback because I love what you said. Shout out to Tamala, she's not here. That's the third of the Selah. So, but I did want to say that too. Like utilizing your gift, as you mentioned, everyone has something that they can do, and that is important for the building of nation.
I need to know everybody's gifts around this table, so I know
want to write it down.
What's your gift, Sister Danyaahla?
I would say maybe cooking. You know, just
You definitely
cooking.
got that.
Not just cooking because, you know, specializing in a certain type of cooking. So vegetarian and vegan
Yes,
food.
okay.
So
I gotta get up with you before I leave.
She got some stuff.
She be having some bomb vegan dishes.
Look, I saw that.
I got no vegan or nothing like that, but I would tear up a vegan dish in a minute. That's a bomb.
Anybody wants to share their gifts? Lazure, Mimi, do you guys want to share what your gifts are if you figured them out at this point in life?
My gift is sewing, fashion for the most part. I started sewing maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, and I just did fringes and ribbon and blue around the borders of my clothes, my family's clothes, and then I became like the designated seamstress. I'm Israel, which I definitely love.
And Dad's t-shirt company.
Yeah, I definitely love doing. All the Brainwashed t-shirts and
All the
shirts.
Yes, she's the house
like
teacher.
the ones that come in bulk, of course. And, I'm also as recently I started going more into like bigger projects like skirts, dresses,
Passover dresses and garments.
just more garments that don't have to do with like additions to clothing, but making my own.
And having your own clothing line one day soon.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Anybody else want to share their gifts and talents?
Mine, I feel is I deal with business to business development. I deal with marketing. Did it for many years, 15 years. Very great at it. But what that was, it allowed me to get into doors people couldn't get into. And so that's what I do for people. So where people can find certain resources, I do that for them. I've actually found family for people that were like missing, didn't know where they were at, Katrina. So I was able to locate them, and it's just because I'm able to cross-reference a lot of things, websites, stuff like that, where I'm very persistent in finding things. So,
So you're FBI, Facebook
yeah. So I pretty much feel like I could be a bridge to others to get them where they need to be with the right people and the right resources.
That's definitely needed. So we know if you need resources, something, see your sister and
Please, by all means. By all means.
My gift, that's not hard. I like to host. I love to host, and I love to clean up. I love to
You love. I got an event.
What you do a cleaning business?
She said I like to host.
I would love to do a cleaning business, but I'm worried about being in people's house.
See, I got a party that I would love for you to host and clean.
I like to host, I like to clean, yes, and I love gatherings. I love
She's a
gatherings.
good supporter.
That's what I was thinking.
So for the holy days, this 2 week off.
I'm telling you, if you want any type of party,
We need that.
She's into clothes. She's good at fashion. She's good at putting
Look, let your sister be
together.
what she got.
Look how she got. She got.
You forget what
Because you're not even speaking on
somebody
somebody
else.
else.
I just a lot of stuff I just don't really.
But I already seen that when she said you came with her today. She was like, wasn't planning on answering the questions, but she came with me. So I already exactly. I already knew that's
Well,
what.
I was like, "Listen, you want to go? Let's roll. We rolling out."
Yeah.
By the way, that's my sister-in-law. Our brothers are married. I mean, our brothers are brothers.
Our brothers are married.
Don't husbands, don't brothers. Our husbands are married. I'm so sorry. Anyway.
But that's the beauty of having sisterhood and having your sisters around you, because I may not know what my sister is, but my sister can look at me like, no, sis, you got that, you got that, you got that. So that's the importance of building with each other.
And others together. Everybody got something to offer.
Yeah, you might not even know that that's your gift until somebody else pointed out. You're like, well, you know what?
That's true.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. So we, we've been on some serious topics, but right now let's break it up with a little bit of fun, because every Sister Day needs mimosas, it needs a great group of sisters, and it needs a little fun to help build. Because I feel like the only way to build sisterhood is to go through things together, to really get to know one another. Okay, so we're gonna start from this side over here. We're gonna work our way around. All right. So would you rather? Would you rather live in a cave or a tree?
That's not hard.
Stuck in traffic or slow Wi-Fi?
Stuck in traffic.
In hunger or in hatred?
In hunger.
Would you rather lose your sight or lose your hearing?
Okay, now this is very dangerous.
This is very good.
Hold on. Faith with by hearing.
Can I have that one?
She gave us the caves and trees and
Look, I know, right? It's gonna get real. I'm gonna start back this way next time.
You be able to see the words that you need to.
Okay.
Because you know how to read.
Not by
And
faith.
then when you hear,
By faith, not by sight.
Your mental can.
What if the trumpets are calling you? You don't hear the trumpet.
You lose your sight. Chess or checkers?
Checkers.
Malcolm or Martin?
Who?
Who said who?
I did not know what you said. I was like, what?
Malcolm or Martin?
Malcolm.
Sis, the song stuck in your head or itch you can't scratch?
Song stuck in my head. I mean, I don't.
But you gotta hear like all day, every day for the rest of your life.
It just better be a good one.
Better be something about the most I can do.
Hey, hit is hit.
I love it. So that's just a quick round, but that's something that sisters can do to help, build up sisterhood when they get together. Not just, sitting and drinking, but, getting to know one another.
That's funny.
That's definitely important. What does it mean to be a sister to another woman? What are the behaviors? How do we think? How do we feel towards one another when we're really operating as sisters?
Man, like I think women, we put emphasis on being talked about, and people not liking us so much to the point where we shortchange ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When you're sure about what you got going on, you don't have to look at other women and be like, nah, you can appreciate a woman's maybe posture, you can appreciate the way that she dresses, you can appreciate, you're not intimidated by those things.